biggest one I've caught since, maybe. Come over here just a bit. Oh, this chair's wobbling. This is a huge male eastern water dragon. Settle mate, come on. So I was just chasing him all through the swamp, he was climbing trees and everything, and then I managed to catch him over there. Hey mate, yeah, you want to bite me? No, good boy. And you can tell he's a male because look how big and buffy his head is. These big spikes, and of course the classic red chest. Never go wrong if you judge by that, or almost never. He's got, yeah, he's got these huge claws that are really sharp, and they're also good for swimming. He uses his legs to push forward and swim, and he uses his tail like that, like a rudder, and he's fast in the water. And he just came up. He didn't know I was that close to him, and I managed to dive on him. Yeah,
Beautiful eyes here. Yeah. And I was just sitting down there looking for stuff, and then I didn't even realise he was next to me. Even Jasper and Mum spotted him. And he's got these closed ears here, just like most dragons, or all dragons. Hello. And see, they don't have forked tongues. They've got these fleshy tongues. Yeah. He's got a very big mouth.
He wants to bite you.
Yeah, and he's got these puffy cheeks. Look at the size of him. They come in a few different colour varieties. This is just an average colour, but I really like them. Like this colour. Looks nice. He's got all this algae on him. Yeah, so big. And these guys are omnivorous, so they'll go around and they'll eat mostly bugs and insects, spiders, all of that, worms and stuff, and ant larvae. Watch the other video where we caught this in the same swamp just over there, where we caught a big female eating some ant larvae, which she was just before we started recording, before I caught her. And then they'll also sometimes eat big mice, like this one would be able to knock off a small pinky mouse. And then like all those little small mammals, but generally still insects. And then they'll also eat like bits of fallen fruits and all that stuff on the ground. This is great. And yeah, he's massive, aren't you? And there's an even bigger one over that side of the swamp that I was chasing before this guy. Just look at the size of this fella.
Bigger than the last one.
Yeah, he's bigger than the last one. He does have a little bit of a regenerated tail here. See this? See how it's black and it's got a different texture? And it's a stumpy tail. And that brings me to the point that the eastern water dragon, this guy, is the largest, the only dragon in Australia that we know of that can actually regenerate its tail partly, like a skink can. So just like a skink, if its tail drops off here, they don't tend to drop it if they're grabbed by a predator as a decoy, otherwise I wouldn't be able to grab them like this. But if it's bitten off or it comes off, they can partly regenerate it. It'll never be as long, but they'll be able to partly regenerate it back, but it always looks different, feels different.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sit on it now.
Yeah, this is a big fella. And Chuck, hello. Hey mate. Hey mate. And these water dragons are actually the largest dragon species in all of Australia. So they get big. Like this is you'd call this a full-grown adult male, but they are known to get even bigger from here. The biggest one I caught was from, say, this tree, about here, but that's including to the tip of the tail, to the top of the head.
Is that true?
Yeah. And the one I caught under the bridge at Cage Beach. So check that video out. And yeah, he's still pretty big. Not as big as that one, but still pretty big. And they can even get slightly bigger than that one, but not by much at all. And they've got all these black stripes, and they're all striped like this, and this colour to blend in. So you look at him there. He blends in really well to the environment to hide from predators. Dragons are an agamid, so they're the largest agamid in Australia. And as well as that, their species name is the Australian water dragon, but there's two subspecies. This guy, the eastern water dragon, that lives Queensland, New South Wales, at the very top of Victoria, and there's also a small population introduced by reptile enthusiasts into South Australia, but they're not a pest or anything, it's just a very small population, one colony or something. And then the Gippsland water dragon that lives in Victoria, hence it's named Gippsland. They live around there. They look a bit different. They've got a bit more of a bluish green tinge to them. They've got some orange striping here on the throat and not as red of a chest. But this year I like these eastern ones. They're bigger. They're beautiful. And the water dragons, they live in colonies. So there'll be one big adult male like this. So there's probably a colony on this side of the swamp and a colony over there. So they've got the big male. And then there'll be one to maybe, the most I've seen probably about 5, but even a bit more than that, of adult females, and he gets to mate with them all. And then there'll be some sub-adults, like this big or so, little females, and maybe sometimes a little male, and then there'll just often be a few baby ones. And then they lay eggs. We actually found a nest in one video.
Yeah.
Then when the eggs hatch, the babies will come out, and they're independent, but they often stick around the same area just so that there's not as many predators because of the big ones around. But then when they feel comfortable, all the little ones, often if there's enough room for them to do that, will make a small separate colony, not too far away from the adult population, but a bit far away, further enough that they're still considered separate. But not always, only if there's enough room. Some places it's just too crowded and they just stay in the same area. There'll be one on one side of the creek, one on the other, you know. Yeah, this goes. And these guys can actually hold their breath underneath the swamp or the ocean, whatever they want, for 30 to 90 minutes. So generally just around an hour. And they do that to avoid predators. So what he'll do if he sees a predator, he'll jump off a tree, just like he did before there when I was chasing him, into the water, and they'll dive under there. And depending on how big of the threat they feel, they'll come up. Sometimes like this guy came up after 1 minute to check already, so he wasn't obviously that much scared. But some of them, they'll just lie on the bottom and they'll just lie there for ages, hours, or not hours, but like up to an hour, a bit over. And they'll just sit there, and when they've lost their breath and when it's safe, he'll pop his head back up, make sure it's clear, and then he'll swim off and just go back to basking or eating whatever he was doing. And the males, yeah, they've got this big bright red chest here, and it gets even brighter in breeding season. Not by much, it's always red, but it'll get a bit brighter in breeding season and they'll be even more territorial. Because the big males don't like being around each other at all, they're territorial. They've got very powerful legs. Don't you, buddy? So we'll take a photo and release him. Okay guys, so I'd also like to congratulate the animal catchers as a whole. Only me and Jasper could be here today, but this message is from all of the animal catchers, I can't remember, about 14, 16, whatever of us. And we'd like to say thank you for 1,000 subscribers. It's a big milestone, and we've reached 1,000 mostly by ourselves. We're at 970. But then Mill Wilson, go follow him and subscribe to his channel if you already haven't. And yeah, he gave us a shout out because we won a shout out competition, and then just overnight we went from 970 to 1,036. Yeah, 36 subscribers. So a big thank you to Miller Wilson. Go check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. So definitely go and check out his channel. He's great. He does the same stuff as us, catching animals, fishing and all that. He's got some great videos. And also today, happy National Bin Day. It's every 25th of November. So it's a day to appreciate your wheelie bin. I mean, I know they don't look like much, but they hold all your rubbish so it's not stinky. So give them a wash, appreciate your bin. And
Isn't it? I thought it was the 22nd today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, 22nd, same thing. Whatever day.
Name your bin.
Just look it up, National Bin Day. And so a huge thank you to Miller Wilson, 1,000 subscribers. And as well as that, it is the video schedule. We've made a video schedule now. So the videos will be up every Monday and every Thursday. Except maybe in the, if it's, you know, winter or something, and then whenever we can, because there might not be many animals around in winter. Unfortunately, that's why we're a bit inactive then. But we'll try to build up some videos in the summer and just schedule them for winter. So if you see videos of reptiles and stuff in winter, it's probably just because we've built them up in summer and yeah, we're keeping them for then. Just so we're not inactive for long. But that being said, even though it is Monday and Thursday mainly. Sometimes I'll put out little specials or clips or whatever, or even just little videos whenever, if I feel like it. So it's not definitely just then, but it is every then as well. But like today, this water dragon video, if I didn't put it up today or tomorrow, it would be up in not until maybe the 30th of December. That's how many videos we got ready. But I probably put it up now because we just reached 1,000 subscribers last night. So probably get home and put it up today or maybe tomorrow morning or something. Bring that, buddy. No. So we're not going to release him quite yet. We'll just stop the video and I think I'll stick my finger in his mouth.
Dragon bites.
Well, we did dragon bites and it certainly did hurt, but that's safe for another time. And then we released the water dragon and he just swam off into the pond, back to his little perch thing on that mound of dirt. Good video. What?
I did get him. Oh yeah, he's big enough for a bit.
Flies everywhere.
Settle, mate. Yeah, you want to bite me?
Oh wow, that is bigger than I
I've been
thought.
one a bit bigger than you. Been a bit bigger than you today.
Careful, Lachlan.
Cruise. What? Cruise, no. Go away, Cruise. So this is a big male, or pretty big male, eastern water dragon. Another one, this is the second one we caught here today. Look at him, they're really cool. I love how the dragons, they'll just go and tilt their head like that. And then he tried to bite. But he was actually sitting here. He was sitting here on this rock. And then I came up, I seen him here before. He went in there. And I grabbed him. Okay? And I'm actually very surprised that I caught him because he just went in there and they just dived and I actually caught him. Didn't I, buddy? Didn't I? Yes. And the reason he was sitting here is probably because this is a darker colour and because it's concrete. It soaks up heat in the daytime and because the sun's gone down now, so he's probably sitting there soaking up the heat. And these guys, they need heat like other lizards because they are cold-blooded, but they don't need as much heat as some other dragon species. So they're often seen on these overcast days and in the morning, as well as in the middle of the day, but often, yeah, on overcast and in the morning. And near water too. They love the water, they'll jump in there to hide from predators and they can stay in there for up to 30-90 minutes. Yeah. He's very big actually. Well, not huge, but still quite big. Yes. And they're the only dragons in Australia, or maybe even in the world, that regenerate their tail partly. This one has as well. See how the spikes aren't on this bit as much? It's black, it's a tip, because it can be pulled off. They don't drop it as easily as skinks do. If they've seen a predator, they just randomly drop it like a skink does for a decoy. But with some force, it can be pulled off. So they're usually safe to grab by the tail unless they're a little one, but just don't like pull too hard. But if you just grab them firmly, but like that, then it's fine. So, but if they got grabbed by a bird and they were being held off by that, then they drop it, and then they'd fall down to the ground, run off into the water. Or hopefully they just fall into the water. And they're omnivorous, so he'll eat bugs, maybe very small mice and little mammals, but usually just bugs, and some bits of plant matter. And when they're threatened, the first thing is to run away, and then second, if they're cornered and if you caught them, they puff. They puff themselves up. They try to puff up and look big, and they inflate their little beard kind of thing here. They've got a bone here that can be extended. They've got a bone here that's usually up here, and then they can puff up their beard and extend it down to here, like this. And they puff it up. They puff up their cheeks, and then they open up their mouth, shows their big mouth and bite to try to look scary. And they can also tail whip like a goanna. And then they've got these big sharp claws that shred you up. So they've got pretty good defences, but they don't attack you, they just run away first thing. Don't you?
And in some areas they become used to people, like in Parsley Bay I was catching so many because they just become so used to the people there, so they don't run away until you get pretty close. But in places like this, it's kind of in the middle. In some places I've been to, like where I went the other weekend down in Sydney, they are really very skittish and scared. And they run away as soon as they see you, before you even get within 10 metres of them, which is very skittish. Okay. And they do have teeth. They've got some,
He's not got it.
they do have teeth, but they've got quite small teeth. Hey Nina. Oh, but this guy actually has a little...
There you go.
Yeah, so he's got teeth there. And see how he's puffing up his throat there? But then here, if you come in here, see on his mouth? Look, something's shaking a chunk out of him there.
Oh.
And near his nose, looks like maybe a bird's beak or something like that. But yeah, they're very good healers though, they heal up really quick. So we'll take a photo and we'll release him.
Okay, ow, ow. Scratching me everywhere.
Settle, buddy. Settle down, buddy.
They are very fast and they use their... They're fast and they use their tail to propel themselves through the water.
And then they use their legs to help and to steer.
To steer.
Yeah, and they'll jump into the water from a branch or a rock if they see a predator.
And they've got very sharp claws.
Yeah. So we'll just release him. Just put him on this rock where he was.
Don't you turn around and bite me.
He won't, he'll just run.
What's to be?
You think you don't hit him again?
No, you shouldn't.
National Bin Day celebration, spreading bin love all across the nation. Go and talk to your neighbors, make sure they've heard. National Bin Day, it's November 23rd.
Okay guys, click the link in the top left to subscribe to the channel. Click the link in the bottom left to see a video that I selected for you. See the top right to see the latest video, or the bottom right to see a video YouTube selected.